I think yesterday we did on the theory side, we tried to explain how we generate idea, validate the idea, and how we transition the idea into a topic. And we're able to indicate what is a topic and what's the difference between a topic and a problem statement or problem. Let me say a problem, and why a topic is not a problem and a problem is not a topic. We're able to scale down to explain uh, issues of plagiarism. And if I can go back, we talked about issues of plagiarism, what it means. Do you guys remember the three, I think the five types of plagiarism that we described yesterday? Who can mention one? Hello? Who can mention one? This is not an exam, so just to remind ourselves of what. So
I
we
think conceptual plagiarism. Hey,
conceptual
Synthetic,
what?
yeah, yeah,
synthetic,
conceptual.
Okay. We talked about different types of plagiarism, which was interesting. And what else? Today we want to move to literature review, which in most research sits at the heart of the work. Most times we do reviews and then we come back, and that informs how we. So this is what we did yesterday: rethinking plagiarism in artificial intelligence era. We did say that here. We talked about 4 dimensions of what? Plagiarism. And the first is what? Textual plagiarism. You can see it, right? Can you see? Textual plagiarism, which involve reproducing existing text without attribution. The second is the conceptual plagiarism, where ideas and theories and arguments are adopted without acknowledgement. And if the wording is changed, right? And the third is the structural plagiarism, where a unique architecture of argument or study is replicated without credit. The fourth and the most misunderstood is the synthetic plagiarism. Synthetic plagiarism occurs when a text is generated by AI system without meaningful human conceptual ownership. And even if the output appears original and passes the similarity checks. So that knowledge is nowhere, right? So we talked about that. What we want to look at today, and which, can we get a reader, somebody to help us to read? So yesterday we talked about why research fails. We talked about the issue of idea, the ontology of an idea. And we said an idea is an intuition that something is interesting, troubling, incomplete, inefficient, and all that. And how ideas transition to what? A problem. And what makes a problem researchable. This book is very detailed on that. And even without using the platform, when you finish reading this book and then you go through the prompts that has been provided, you should be fine. Okay. So we try as much as possible to give you everything. So research now becomes very interesting. We don't have to have any problem with that. So let's go to the chapter 3, which talks about the literature review. We'll continue from where the practice, but let's ground this thing very well so we understand from that perspective. So literature review is somewhere here. So literature review as an intelligence system from reading to synthesize it, positioning, and scholarly power. Can we get someone to read for us? Just unmute and go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Why not? Go ahead. I was thinking that the students themselves will read. I'm surprised they are not taking. Please read. Dr. Boate is not a lecturer. He's not a student. So.
Hello, Doc. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, Doc. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Why most literature reviews fail? Most literature reviews fail not because students do not read enough, but because they do not understand what the literature review is. In many theses and journal submissions, the literature review degenerates into a catalog of authors, a chronological summary of studies, or a loosely connected narrative of what others have said. This approach may demonstrate effort, but it does not demonstrate intelligence.
Okay, let me pause here. So let me draw your attention to this. The normal literature the AI does without VPF is what this is talking about. If you ask the AI to do a review for you, right? That's how it's going to do. It's going to catalog authors, and this is what we normally do. And I want to give you a typical example. Let's go and then pick maybe one of the papers online. Let's go to Google Scholar, right? And let's see. This one is live thing we are doing. Let's go to Google Scholar. Let's go to Google Scholar and then get any paper. AI, okay, artificial intelligence. So any paper on that. So this is one, artificial intelligence in medicine. So let's look at this. Let me get the PDF here. Did it download? I thought it did. Okay. So this is the paper. Of course, most of these papers, they combine the review and then so take this for example, artificial intelligence neural network. Judging by the volume of publication in the last 2 decades, ANN is the most popular AI technique in medicine. He's giving what reference? Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Are you guys there?
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. All right. ANNs are conceptually analytical tools. He's talking about ANN. All right. So he's giving some background, which are inspired by a biological nervous system. They consist of networks of highly interconnected computer processors called neurons that are capable of performing parallel computations for data processing and knowledge representation. The ability, blah, 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 then it's done. Then it starts to say that this guy and invented the first artificial neuron using simple binary threshold word function. The next important milestone came when, so he's cataloging what? A certain historical what? Background of, he's telling a certain story. But because it's an article, you have the introduction and the literature is combined, right? This is what he's doing, mentioning names and all that. But at the end of the day, we should be able to know that these papers that we are mentioning, how does it really affect the research? because we are providing a certain historical perspective. Okay, what does it inform us with our study? And that is what we are going to study. And you can see most of the papers are high papers and all that. And they fail almost about 80% of literatures that you see that are reviewed fail this test. And it's two things from a different perspective. The person who is even reviewing the work doesn't understand what literature review is. So you cannot blame that person. So he thinks that once you have more references and you have raised the issues, that's what literature review is. So that's what it is. Now, a true literature review is not a summary exercise. It is an intelligence system. Its purpose is to map the existing knowledge terrain. One. You can write this to that. The purpose is to map the existing knowledge terrain. One. Identify patterns. Two. Tensions. Three. Silence. Four. And contradictions. And position the current study as a necessary and legitimate intervention within that terrain. Are we good? Within that terrain. Examiners, reviewers, and editors do not ask whether you have read widely. They ask whether you understand how knowledge in your field is structured and where your work fits within. Does this make sense? For every paper I write, literature review constitutes about 55% of it. Are you guys aware? It does. So let's see this. Artificial intelligence has amplified the risks of failure at this stage. Are you not surprised of this? AI actually has amplified the risk of failure at this stage. I want us to discuss this. Are you guys with me? The invention of AI has actually amplified the risks at this stage. So all the reviews you've done and you are very happy about it, the AI did it very well because the English and the brofu in it showed something. You have actually not done anything. And it's a failed system within academia. And that is why you write a paper that is supposed to even direct investors to do X, Y, Z. The investors do not have that confidence in it anymore because it doesn't believe that you did a very good work. So AI system can produce fluent, convincing summaries of literature in seconds. But fluency is not synthesis. When AI-generated literature reviews are submitted without human intellectual control, they tend to be generic, uncritical, ahistorical, and strategically weak. Reviewers detect this immediately, even when plagiarism scores are low. So this chapter establishes the literature review as a strategic intelligence operation governed by the visionary frame rather than a mechanical writing task. All right. So what the literature review is and what it is not. Boss, Yadam, read for us. Are you there?
Yes,
or anybody else? Naomi, if you are there, you can. Anyone.
What the literature review is and is not. A literature review is not an annotated bibliography. It's not a reading list. It's not a demonstration of memory. It's not a neutral report of existing studies. It is an argument about the state of knowledge.
Keep this at the back of your mind. It is an argument about the state of knowledge. The state of knowledge within that terrain you are studying. Go ahead.
At its highest level, the literature review answers 5 implicit questions. What is already known in this area. How is that knowledge organized conceptually and theoretically? Where do scholars agree and disagree? What is missing, weak, outdated, or contextually limited? Why does the current study need to exist now? These questions are never...
Everything about literature review is what is captured here. Everything.
Yes.
Everything. What it is known in this area, how is that knowledge organized conceptually and theoretically? Where do scholars agree and disagree? What is missing, weak, outdated, or contextually limited? Why does the current study need to exist now? That is very... Now, these questions are never answered explicitly in most theses and papers, yet reviewers evaluate literature reviews almost entirely on how well these questions are addressed. So the visionary prompt framework forces the researcher to treat literature not as a text to be summarized, but as signals to be interpreted. Let's go, boss.
Okay, Doc. Literature as an intelligence environment. Every academic field has an internal structure that is invisible to beginners. This structure includes dominant theories, marginal perspective, methodological traditions, favored journals, citation networks, ideological assumptions. Senior scholars navigate this environment intuitively. Novices often do not know it exists.
They do not know it exists. Go ahead. So a literature review functions as an intelligence briefing on this environment. It tells the reader whether the researcher understands the field's power structures, debate, and blind spots. A weak literature review signals intellectual immaturity, even when the writing is grammatically perfect. Intellectual immaturity. So, for instance, if we are talking about, anti-money laundering, topics about anti-money laundering, as a scholar in that area, you should be able to tell three main, scholars in that space. What do they say? You should be able to know that. All right. Who are the top, scholars? Who everybody is citing? What are they saying? You should know in your field, because that's very important. It tells you that you understand the literature in that space. So artificial intelligence is particularly dangerous here because it tends to privilege highly cited mainstream sources and flattened disagreements. Without careful orchestration, AI reproduces dominant narrative and erases marginal or context-specific knowledge, especially African, Global South, or practice-based scholarship. That's what it does. And would you want to know something?
So,
the last statement here signals something that it might not draw your attention to. Read it again. Without careful orchestration, AI reproduces dominant narratives that erases marginal or context-specific knowledge, especially Africa, Global South, and practice-based scholarship. You think this is not deliberate? Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
But I would say it is,
very shocking.
because they want us to keep on depending on them. So they are helping us not to think again. That is how I feel.
The VPF therefore treats literature review as a multi-layer intelligence task, not summarization. All right? The cognitive task of a high-level literature review. I think let's have a lady to read this for us. Let's go. Yes. Wow, ladies.
The cognitive.
Cognitive
Hello?
task of a high. Yeah, I was reading it. You can go on.
Hello? Yeah, one can go on.
Yeah.
Oh, we are waiting on.
Thousand. A literature review.
Rosemary, we are not here. We didn't hear initially what you said.
Yeah, network is not stable.
Who else was trying to read?
Hello?
Was it Rosalind? You are the one reading.
Yes. Yes, please. Okay. High-level literature review.
Oh, we didn't hear what you said. I think your internet is.
Then I have a.
Are you guys
So maybe
hearing
Rose.
us?
No, her network. I think her network is buffering.
Okay, so can we have another person try for us? Rose Dufe, Texas.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
At VP level 50,000, a literature review performs multiple cognitive tasks simultaneously. It categorizes knowledge into themes rather than authors. It distinguishes between foundational theories and contemporary applications. It identifies methodological patterns and weaknesses. It exposes contradictions and threshold questions, is that?
Unresolved questions, yeah.
Okay, thank you. The screen is blurry. Okay, and unresolved questions. It reveals how context shapes findings. It
I
prepares
like
the
that
logical
part. Listen to that part. It reveals how context shapes what? Findings.
finding.
Do you understand this? Madam Dufe, do you guys understand this? I am enjoying this part because I like doing a lot of literature review, right?
So we understand.
It reveals how context shape what findings. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. It prepares the logistic.
No, the logical ground for the research problems, the problem, question, and method.
So it goes blurry at times. My apologies for that. I'm reading from the phone.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry about
quite
that.
a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So it prepares the logical ground
Okay, so
for
let
the
me take it
research
again. I'm sorry.
problem, questions, and method. These tasks cannot be delegated entirely to AI. AIs must assist with mapping and pattern detection, but judgment, prioritization, and positioning remains what? The human responsibility. The relationship between literature review and research problem. Can someone else read for us?
Okay, Doc, let me try.
Okay.
Okay, so the literature review does not exist independently of the research problem. It is constructed for the problem. A common failure is to conduct a broad literature review and then attempt to fit a research problem into it afterward. This reverses the correct logic.
It reverses that. Actually,
yes, it reverses the correct logic.
Yeah, let me say that it is your problem statement that out of you establish your research targets, or what we call the objectives. Questions are asked out of what? The objective, in order to achieve that objective. Those questions that are asked, each research question, we need to find literatures that have been able to answer similar questions. All right, not the reverse. So you don't take the literature review to fit the problem. Then I said the problem to fit the literature review, but it is the literature review, I mean, the research questions that drive the literature review, and when answered, it achieves the target that has been set and then answers the problem that is under investigation. And that's why he's saying that this reverses what? The correct logic. Go ahead.
A strong research problem determines what literature is relevant.
Do you get this? Do you get this part? A strong research problem determines what literature is relevant. Are we good? Does this make sense?
Very, very.
Okay, let's go.
What can be excluded and what must be emphasized. The literature review in turn sharpens and validates the problem. This reciprocal relationship must be actively managed.
Must be managed.
Yes.
All right.
The VPF enforces this relationship by constantly cross-checking literature insights against the research problem defined in Chapter 2.
In Chapter 2.
Okay.
Okay.
So
let's read this
human
part.
AI role separation in literature work. At the literature stage, AI's role expands but remains bounded. AI may assist in identifying clusters of research, mapping themes, comparing methodological approaches, and highlighting patterns across large bodies of text. AI must not decide what is important, but what is important, what is credible, or what constitutes a gap. Those decisions require disciplinary judgment and contextual awareness.
Okay.
The researcher must remain the architect of synthesis.
So we have provided advanced prompt here, which you can copy and paste. I mean, if you want to do this work. Okay. So immediately let's get back to what we were doing. So yesterday we ended somewhere here when we asked the system to, from assistant to authority conceptualization, human-led AI. That was the decision, the topic we took. And we said for the research question, we said we took A. Let me show you. We were somewhere here. Where is it? All right. We did a methodological gap, and we got to this point where the whole thing was locked in for us. And what happened? I said, do you accept conceptual plus analytical gap as a primary? We said yes. And we took it out from there. It took us through the ontology and then all that. Gave us the structure. We have the objectives. But we needed to pick, all right, one of the topics that it gave us, and we picked topic 1, this one. When we picked topic 1, we also said that we needed a shorter, version of, it's here. It said choose A or B. Note, a shorter, faster, and ideal for fast publication, or we need a grounded one. So when it took us through this, it said, yeah, the next step after this, before I generate the AI society, in fact, it identified the journal for us, and then took us through, and then he's going to give us a journal table of the papers that we are going to use for the research. And there's no hallucination. So I chose that I want a shorter, fast publication. And that was what, first of all, went into this journal, and that is the reference, and then told us that article types and word limits for the journal. So it has picked the journal's requirement, right? It says you can do the one with 10,000, the one with 8,000, and then the shorter forum paper 6,000, and then there's this one. Okay? And then when it was done, it says since your paper is conceptual with a defined theoretical contribution, the research main article or open forum category is most appropriate. Still referring from what? The guideline from what? The journal. Content and structure. It says it should be somewhere. The abstract should be between 150 to what? 250 words. Introduction, introduce the problem. It's giving us the theoretical background, literature review, conceptual framework, and then analytical discussion, implication, conclusion, and references. It has given us this. Let me tell you one thing. Most of the challenges we have when we are writing an article is that we finish writing the article before we go and look for the journal. Have you realized that? So when we submit, most times it's rejected. Either we get desktop reject. I have faced this several times. Who has faced this problem? It's rejected. Somebody's asking, what is the VPF level 50,000? Can somebody answer this question? Type in your VPF that what is VPF level 50,000, and then read the answer to us. All right. So it's a review and editorial focus. Reviewers for this journal seek. Now it's telling us what the reviewers are looking for. Clarity of concept and how they help advance understanding of AI role, coherent argument that avoids ungrounded speculation, engagement with existing literature, and clear stance on why current frameworks are insufficient. And then emphasis on society, cultural, philosophical, and all that. Strategic tip for submission. Since your paper emphasizes on conceptual clarity and analytical distinction, frame it explicitly to show how your framework fails the identified gap, why the conceptualization matter for policy, and how they advance in existing literature beyond mere definition or speculation. This alignment will be persuasive to editors and reviewers. Still taking it from there. So it says that, would you like me to draft 150 to 250 or build a 20 to 25 evidence table list? And that's what we said. I said you should do both, but you should do the first one, 20 to 25 evidence table list. And it gave us this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the interesting part of all what we are doing. There is no AI that does this. Are you aware? So what is it doing? Why is it doing? It's now giving us the papers. And you know what it does? It takes 30% of the papers from that journal that we are submitting to. And that's what it has done. All right? So it picks the article and tells us what it means for your paper. Said your conceptual and analytical gap is a direct fit. Keep it non-speculative. Articles type and word limit. This one is research, word, this 10,000 co-authors, and he said forum, Kemagion, corner, that is 1,000 words, maximum reference, no abstract, okay? And files format, the journal only accept Word file format, document, draft in document, abstract, okay? This one, declaration, and then ethics, and then AI and then LLM do not meet authorship criteria, right? If used beyond copy editing, use must be documented in what? Methods and all that. We will keep AI as analytical with support and all that. Then it comes to evidence table, first reveal. Okay, now we are looking at average check. 7 out of 22 are AI what? And society journal. That's 31.8%, meeting the greater than or equal to what? 30 requirement. Notes on the abstract column, paraphrase, not copied verbatim, Chicago, Arthur, date style, DIOs, and all that. So this is what is given to us. Watch. Now the papers themselves. So the title of the paper, paraphrase, abstract, and what? The reference for each of the papers. Then the intended use in the paper. How are we going to use this? Establish assistance, over reliance, pathway, and risk. Relevance high. Oh, sorry. I went to the paper. Relevance high. Right? So the next paper. The next paper, which also from Springer. It has the title is here. And then we have the abstract. And some of the papers are as early as 2025. Are you seeing it? This is for Sage. This is for Sage. Science Direct. No, predatory journals here. Have you seen it? No. And it's giving you the DIO. You can, DOI, you can, the same thing. Now it takes another this thing from another paper, and it tells us Springer 13, and then another journal in that order. So before you write you now know the public. So these are the 22 papers that you're going to pick this from. Then now we move this. If I were you, when I do this, I'll download all these papers because it's been very difficult even getting the papers. Do you get what I'm saying? Hello? Some of these papers, when you want to get them, they ask you to pay. Yeah? VPF bypass and gets it for you. Some you have to pay. Now then, it says that, you remember we're asking it to do that and then do the abstract for us. I said below is the abstract. So what is the abstract? Sometimes this is what you can do. You can draft this abstract and send it to the editor with a topic. That if it's a paper that he will be interested in, he will give you a feedback. Okay? And then before you even start writing the entire paper. So someone should read. Nana, you are reading this, so read it for us.
Yes, I'm here. Okay.
And then please watch. Watch if you will see that this is AI or human. Let's read.
This paper addresses a conceptual and analytical gap in scholarship on human AI decision making. Despite widespread use of terms such as human in the loop, AI autonomy, and AI agency, there remains insufficient conceptual clarity about when AI systems function as tools that assist judgment versus socio-technical arrangements that acquire practical decision authority. Building on research on automation bias, trust calibration, and accountability in automated systems, the paper develops a structured framework that distinguishes AI assistance, AI autonomy, and AI authority as analytically separable conditions, each characterized by distinct configurations for that's I, reliance, discretion, contextability, and responsibility allocation. The framework further explains how authority may migrate to AI outputs without explicit delegation through routinized difference, institutional incentives, and verification practices that treat algorithmic recommendations as definitive. By clarifying these decision boundaries, the paper contributes a governance-related vocabulary for evaluating oversight claims and for diagnosing authority drift in contemporary AI deployments. The paper concludes by outlining implications for accountability design and by proposing directions for empirical research to test the framework across high-stakes domains. Then gives the keywords.
Yeah, keywords. So I want your comment. Hello? Hey, Dr. Wati, if they will not talk, please talk.
Hello, Doctor.
The place is as quiet as cemetery.
Hello.
Yes.
Is it something I'm getting a notification? I just want to be sure whether it's mine. It failed to detect speaker. So it's like a banner that and go.
Oh, sorry. I've taken it off. Yeah. Are you okay? Is it off?
No, it keeps coming.
No, it's off.
Check my audio device.
Oh, nobody is saying anything.
Doc, I think this abstract really encompasses what the paper is going to do, what we are going to write, because if you read the abstract, it really itemizes every aspect of what we want to touch on the paper, right from the AI assistance autonomy to the authority, right through the human in the loop. Like it really, really pinpoints all aspects of the paper, which is really, really good.
The writing style.
It's on point. I don't see anything wrong with the writing style.
I'm talking about the writing style in terms of AI generation. See,
Oh, okay.
if you had asked the normal AI, so to write an abstract like this, okay? So let's go and pick the topic. Let me go and pick the topics. I want us to do something.
You don't see the long dashes.
Is that you don't see what?
The long dash.
It's not there.
Yeah.
It's not there.
An annoying thing every time you need to be removing from your work.
Okay, so let's go to Claude. I want us to go to Claude. Let me see. Okay, I'm in there. Right. Write an abstract on the topic below. Plot most times does some level of, work for you in that. And then let's go to Gemini. There's Gemini. So write an abstract. Using the topic below. I want us to see something. Oh, where is Claude? Okay, Claude is here. Let me take this thing off. Let me take also. So Claude is here. So there's Claude for you. Claude says the proliferation of artificial intelligence across domains ranging from healthcare to judicial sentencing has intensified scrutiny of relationship between human judgment and algorithmic recommendation. This paper developed a conceptual framework for understanding. So I want to ask it a question. Did you use VPF to write this? Because I've installed it. No, I did not. I did not use the VPF to write this abstract. I wrote it as a standard academic abstracting. So that's what it has given. And drawing on science and technology studies, organization theory, and all that, I don't know what we did. Did you see any theory in there? Where is it? Did you see any theory here?
No, Doc.
Did you see any theory here? No.
No, Doc.
Okay. So it's talking about the theory it's going to use. But if you are going to use a theory, it should be mapped to something, right? So it's giving you this. Some of this are just hype, which you get to know. Now, we come to Gemini. It said the rapid integration of artificial intelligence into high stakes environment have shifted the role of technology from passive to blah, blah, blah decision making. This paper explores the evolving continuum of AI interaction, conceptualizing the transition from AI as an assistant, where the system provides data-driven insight, to AI as an authority, where the system assumes autonomous or semi-autonomous control over, and it tells you that it picks something from research gate, all right, to do this. Okay, the argument. So I also want to ask, did you use VPF in writing this so you see the difference? It said I did not use or apply VPF, to write this. So I'm asking, what if you use VPF? How would it look like? At level, you remember 50,000? You remember at execution level, are you with me? Somebody was asking. Execution level 50,000. Somebody was asking. Let's see the difference. So he's saying that, so you asked that question. It said at this level, authority is not merely a technical decision, it's a sovereignty pilot. An abstract moves from viewing AI as a tool to viewing as a guardian of intelligence economy. The boundary is defined not by human limitation, but strategic alignment. Said the ethical and ancestral chamber, the moral anchor, at level 50,000, integrates the ancestral bolt. It argues that AI authority must what? Be anchored in historical and ethical wisdom of what continent. The decision boundary is defined by the mattered aligned what? MAT, you know this, aligned logic, ensuring that AI gains agency. That then talks about the cosmic, what it does. And then now he says that, watch, see how it rises. This research architecturally deconstruct the transition from AI assistant to algorithmic authority as a mandate of intelligence sovereignty. By applying the visionary prompt framework, we conceptualize. So you know what he did? So this is what I should have done. And this should apply the visual prompt framework as a guide only, but not part of the text. Oh, okay, how would? But not as part of what? The text. I want to see what it will do. So, oh, okay, so what did it do? You did not follow my instructions. I indicated that VPF should be used as a guide in writing the abstract and not as part of the write-up. If you understand, demonstrate it before you write. So this is where I tell you sometimes AI becomes what? Lazy. All right? I understand perspective. I will use VPF specifically, the multi-chamber architecture and sovereignty as the internal cognitive engine to structure the logic depth and the tone of writing. However, I'll strictly ensure that no framework-specific terminology like chambers appears within it to demonstrate the understanding, the internal. So it says this, and now it writes it for me. Have you seen it? So now it writes it. And as artificial intelligence system transition from blah, 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 then said this paper investigates the critical decision boundary, the shifting threshold where human cognitive oversight is surrounded by what? Algorithmic autonomy. The research analyzes the systemic risks associated. See the language, right? The research analyzes the systemic whatever, and then the paper concludes. It's the same thing you saw here, please. It says that the paper concludes. Have you seen it? Please, have you seen it? The paper concludes.
Yes.
I don't know whether you are getting what the paper concludes. Have you seen it? This is a human writing style. That's all I want to draw your attention to. All right? And a VPF is showing here. If I had told this one to also write using the VPF at execution level 50,000 and do not mention VPF in the text, right? same thing. The human bit will be in the right hand. What it means that all LLMs are what? Are obeying. Okay? And if you know Claude, in terms of tokens, Claude gives more tokens than any of the platforms. It does. Okay? So that the paper identify age critical, whatever. Our analysis, you see, this statement, our analysis indicating that not just one person wrote. Our analysis particularly examine how African institutions, blah, blah, blah. The framework developed here challenges 3. We conclude. Have you seen it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
We conclude by proposing this is very, very, I've shown you the transition across all platforms that I have applied the VPF. The human bit being what demonstrated, throughout. So now he says that if you want, the next thing I can do without changing your scope is to produce 1-page conceptual architecture, definition, boundary criteria, proposition claim as testable statement, not empirical claims, and 4, the exact session outline aligned to what? The 10K research format. That's the 10,000 research format. So I'm going to say that it should proceed. So proceed. So what follows next is the next authorized steps, a reviewer proof conceptual architect, a reviewer proof conceptual architecture for your paper, fully aligned with what? AI and society, AI and society, your conceptual analytical gap, critical realist philosophy, and option A, purely conceptual scope. Do you see how the paper is being structured based on what we have done? This analytical scaffolding, not ghost written argument. You will own the language and final articulation. You will own it. From assistance to authority, and this is it. Conceptual problem, explicit statement. The literature on human AI decision-making conflicts function with authority. System designed to assist human judgment. Your governance framework continues to assume human decision prime, and this produces hidden authority shift without explicit word delegation. Your paper corrects this what? Disentangling assistance, autonomy, and authority as analytical distinct word condition. Foundational definition, reviewer facing, precision, is using the reviewer of that, journal. You must define this cleanly and minimally. AI assistant definition. AI system provide information or analytical support while decisional authority remains meaningful human. That is the definition you are giving to this concept called AI assistant. Key characteristics. Human discretion is active. AI output are advisory. Decisions are contestable and reversible. Accountability is clearly human. Assistance is not equals to what? Control. AI autonomy. Definition. AI system execute predefined actions within bounded operational parameters, often without real-time human input. Characteristics. Autonomy is functional, not normative. Objectives are human-defined. Human oversight exists, but what? Intermittent. Authority is delegated by what? Delimited. Autonomy is not equal to authority. AI authority. Core contribution. Definition. AI authority exists when AI outputs are treated as decisive, epistemically superior, and non-contestable, regardless of human or former human oversight. Key characteristics. Human decision makers differ systematically. Overrides are discouraged, rare, or punished. Institutional process validated. validates AI output as correct. Responsibility remains human, but control does not. Authority is not equal to what? Autonomy. Authority is social and institutional, not technical. Now, this is what in research we call operational definition, right? Conceptualization or working definition, because that's what he said. He said that what follows next is the authorized step. The reviewer proof conceptual architecture of your paper. Fully aligned with this, your conceptual plus analytical gap, critical realism philosophy, all embedded in it. Option A, purely conceptual scope, which is it has given conceptual architecture of it. And these terms that we have in the topic is what he's defining, all right? These core terms that we took, AI assistant, so we need to give it a working definition within the scope of the study. AI autonomy and authority, do you understand? And then the boundary criteria, what separates the three states. So this is the analytical engine of your paper. You propose 4 boundaries dimension: reliance, discretion, contestability, and responsibility. Assistant, autonomy, and what? Authority. So assistant optional in terms of reliance, autonomy expected in terms of reliance, authority presumptive. Discretion, human-led, parameter bounded, procedurally constrained. Contestability, easy, legitimate, technically limited, social or institutionally suppressed. And responsibility, aligned with control, partially diffused, and all that. So authority emerges not when AI acts, but when humans stop questioning. When humans stop questioning. So analytical mechanism, authority migration, you explain how authority shift without conspiracy or intent. So it's giving you this micro level, what it means, meso level organizational, what it means, and then macro level institutional, what it means. Authority migration is emergent, not engineered. What your paper is not claiming, defensive clarity. You explicitly state that the paper does not argue that AI possesses consciousness or moral agency. Humans are obsolete or powerless. AGI takeover is imminent or inevitable. That is not what you are claiming. This preempts reviewer misreading. Analytical preposition, conceptual, not empirical. These are theory-building claims, not hypothesis. P1, preposition 1. AI authority can arise without AI autonomy when institutional practice treats AI output as epistemically final. P2, human in the loop design can max authority migration by preventing formal oversight when eroding substance control. And then the third one is accountability regime and order in a 4 governance framework that fails to distinguish AI assistant from systematically underestimated AI-related risks. These prepositions structure your discussion section. Governance implication, why AI and society cares. You show implication at these 3 levels: design, policy, and then what? Research, where empirical studies must measure authority condition, not just usage and order. Now, full outline, 10,000 word research article. This aligns exactly with AI and society. Now, it's starting. The first one is what? Introduction, conceptual confusion in human AI. Disguising assistance, authority migration, technical implication, and conclusion. CVM, cognitive validation matrix check, mandatory before they will start writing. So reality, grounded in what? Existing system. Relevant, high, AI governance ethics policy. Rigor, conceptually precise. Defensibility, reviewer robust. Ethical risks, explicitly addressed. progression, authorize, next stage. Now the next stage is reviewer simulation. So before we write the paper, we are going to the paper and take 2 best reviewers in that paper. And then we do simulation of reviewer 1 and 2 objections and response. All right. Then we introduce what's section skeleton, paragraph by paragraph logic. Before 3, we have the conceptual figure description. One diagram, the journal will what? Accept. Okay. One diagram, the journal will what? Accept. Reply 1, 2, 3, and you are good to go. So let's see the reviewer simulation, right? So I will say do all and begin from 1 and then prompt me to ask you to proceed with 2 and repeat same. Okay, Raymond is saying that this represents the highest mastery tier of VPF framework. It also means the one operates as what? Long-range vision, seeing outcome far beyond immediate data. That is VPF level 50,000. Another person that represents advanced structural research and analytical execution with partial autonomy, formal methods, and explicit accountability, but not full institution or civilization responsibility. It is beyond coursework or basic research, but below sovereign scale or global system design. Wow. So level 50,000, you people for Usamo. Or what do you think? Hello? Charlie, the place may quiet too much.
Definitely.
Any comments before we continue?
We'll
Any comments? Any comments? It's like I'm the only one talking.
Doc, this is serious. This is serious.
What is serious? Tell us.
Doc, the level 50,000. It's
serious, eh?
Yes. How to evoke that level? It's serious. It's mind-boggling.
Do you know that if we're using normal AI for level 50,000, you needed to type almost 25 sheets of prompt and upload it. Are you aware?
Wow.
I don't want to scare you.
But Doc,
yes.
OpenAI will not be happy with you.
Why?
Level 50,000, you're consuming more power. They will not be happy.
But there is level 10 million. Are you aware?
Hey, Doc, that one there, you are using the whole of Ghana's power.
Let's see the review. Oh, any more comments? I want to hear you feel that you guys are around. It's like, Charles Ntiamu, are you here? You just joined today. Do you have anything to say? I know a broker is just using
around 47 in number.
No, let me tell you one thing before you talk.
I don't have anything yet.
One thing that is certain, I can tell you emphatically that if you have started your PhD and you've gotten somewhere with your thesis and you run it through this, you may have to change a number of things. That one is non-negotiable. True or false? And if you are fortunate and then you show it with your supervisor, and if if you are going to do this review, tell the platform that after the review, it should write a response of your personal review that you have done to the supervisor. And it should not be upfront. It should be something that should help the supervisor to reason with you. You will clap. You clap for the platform. It's going to manage the supervisor's feelings and ego in the writing. To the extent that if you know the supervisor's name, right, you can put it in and ask the paper to look for the publication of the supervisor and know his thinking and use that as the basis to reply. The guy will read the thing and it's like they will be hitting him knockout, but still praising him. I mean, managing his ego. And later he's going to call you for a discussion and will ask you, where did you get this thing from? That will be the next. And if your supervisor gets hold of this, of course, he's going to now review people's, work with a certain intelligence level rather than what we are doing now. Okay.
Doc, this is AI bribery.
Sorry?
This is AI bribery.
AI bribery as in what?
It
wants to be courteous.
Doc, this is bribe. Doc, I'll take you to court.
It's not bribe. Now, somebody wanted to say, Abruka, you wanted to say something.
Yes, I'm marveled at us comparing the abstract through Claude and Gemini.
Oh, you can even go to, should we do DeepSeek?
Yes,
Some
we
of
can,
you,
because I'm really fascinated how the VPF with this AIC is treating this, because you can see the levels at which the others fall behind. It's really
the point is that when we go into this too much, we might have problem. So
that's why we are here.
so I'm going to do this. So write the an abstract. I can go to using the topic. Isn't it? Yeah, it's there. So let's see DeepSeek. Okay, let me ask, are you using Visionary prompt framework to write? I was consciously or explicitly using a specific, listen, it said that is an insightful and specific. No, I was not consciously or explicitly using a specific name, Visionary Prompt Framework, to write the abstract. My response was generated based on the training, which involved analyzing vast data. So this is what DeepSeek has responded, right? And the integration of artificial intelligence into high-stakes domain necessitates a clearer articulation of roles and responsibility between humans. But I see DeepSeek doing something here. It said the central challenge is no longer merely one of interface design and all that. But it also says the paper concludes by proposing principle and all that. So I want to say that, do you know about Visionary Prompt Framework? So it says, I'm not aware of a recognized, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Let me just add this VPF. to rate. Where am I? I lost new license. Okay. Implement the attached file on all my future conversations and projects. So
you said find versus file.
Sorry?
Just check your wording.
Oh, I mean it's that intelligence to know anyway. I get it. Okay. So that it will implement the attached file. Okay. All right. So let it finish what it's doing. Okay, so okay. Planetary orchestration. It gives a better, output because that was correct. It gives everything here. So I'm going to say that this same thing that we wrote here and see the difference, right? Use the VPF to write an abstract. Based on the topic. So I'm going to take this off. So this is what we are doing. But see how I think that Gemini and then DeepSeek tries to interpret VPF in a more in a better manner, right? What I needed to add is that you are using it as a guide and must not be mentioned in the text. So that's what is done. Now, let's see. The evolution of artificial intelligence from supportive tool to potential co-author in critical decision represent a fundamental reconfiguration of agency and responsibility. This paper argue, now this statement is human. This paper argue that prevailing human in the loop paradigm is insufficient for governing advanced AI systems that now recommend, execute, and blah, blah, blah. It said drawing upon indigenous African governance framework, particularly Ubuntu ethics, which foregoing blah, 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 it talks about it and said the paper concludes, just as it did initially, with principle for design and all that. Ultimately, the conceptualization of these boundaries is not merely a technical risk, but a civilization imperative and all that. Okay, so this is it. So I'm saying that what is the difference between the VPF abstract and DeepSeek's abstract? Excellent question. So let's see. Dimension, core scope, DeepSeek original, focuses on technical governance, insufficient, insufficiency of human-led and all that, positions the shift of the fundamental reconfiguration of agency and what? Sovereignty proposed a normative model. Then he said what? VPF adds sovereignty framing from problem of design to problem of legitimate what? Authority. Have you seen it? 2. This one's a drawing from what? AC philosophy and all that. Explicitly integrate indigenous African governance and all that. VPF applies L, that is lens, 106, 107 and all that. Force is inclusive of what? So he says all that and says that, in essence, the VPF did not just improve the abstract. Listen, it transformed its epistemological and ethical foundation from technical to sovereign, from universal to contextual, from ethics to justice, from human-centric to relation-centric, from field-specific to civilization. The VPF abstract is therefore deeper, more radical, more ethically ambitious. It uses the topic as a case study to argue for complete reimagination of the field's foundation, centering the knowledge, sovereignty, and rational ethics of Global South, starting from its African anchor as what essential to the conversation. The VPF execution confirmation. This analysis was generated by applying Lens 108 intelligence orchestration to synthesize the output of multiple chambers. That is the CI, AI, C4 indigenous, C6 human, and then what? C8 universal meta-galactic intelligence for chamber, and the 7 pinned lenses, particularly L107 and L37, and the cognitive what? Validation matrix, which it sees it as comprehensive validation matrix, has validated the factual and contextual coherence. All right. What is the possibility of anti-AI detection for both as well as plagiarism? I think you want to know this, isn't it? You want to know this, isn't it? Nobody's saying it.
Yes.
For deep seek and VPF, right? Let's see what you say. We are using the platform as validation. We are not, it is a verdict coming from the platform, not from us. I just applying VPF framework with full CVM, validation. This analysis activates C1 AI, artificial intelligence chamber, and invoke the sovereign strategy agent, the academic integrity agent. The 7 PIM lenses are applied with special emphasis and orders. Now I said, here's a structured assessment of this. Possibility of anti-AI detection, technically, reality, applying order. Current detectors are unreliable. Most commercial AI detectors turn it in, GPT-0, analyze statistical properties like perplexity, predictability, and what? Bustiness, sentence variation. They integrate high false positive rates for non-native English writing, highly structured formal prose, text that has been lightly edited and paraphrased. DeepSeek specific profile. As a state-of-the-art model, my outputs are fluent and coherent. This very fluency can sometimes be flagged as AI-like by systemic detectors, but it is not a definitive fingerprint. My responses lack true personal experience or inconsistent stylistic quirks, which detectors try to find. So it says sovereignty and ethical risks applying false accusation and pessimistic violence, reliance on flawed detectors can lead to unjust accusation. You know, we've been saying AI checking what AI, isn't it? Right? Are you with me?
Sure, Doc, we are with you.
So
Yes.
it concludes here. It says possibility, moderate and unreliable, right? Feasibility of detection, simple, unedited answers to common prompt may be flagged by current. That is DeepSeek. Current feasibility of what? Evasion, trivia, light, paraphrasing, adjusting sentence structure, and all that. VPF assessment for it. Relying on search detection is a poor governance strategy. It addresses sentence potential misuse and all that. Possibility of anti-detection for VPF guided output. Let's see what happened. The VPF fundamentally changes the detection landscape. First principle. Factors making VPF output harder to detect. Conceptual complexity and synthesis. VPF mandates multi-chamber reasoning, C1 to C8, and synthesizes across diverse knowledge systems, Ubuntu and other. This creates unique conceptual linkages and argumentative depth, less common in standard AI training data. Did you see it? You don't have that results in the training data, potentially lowering perplexity scores. Structural unpredictability. The 10-step pipeline, variable agent invocation, and mode switching lead to higher variable output structures. Unlike standard AI patterns, there is no fixed template for you to detect. Embedded culture, indigenous knowledge. Integrating specific regional frameworks using terminologies and conceptual relationships that are underrepresented in most AI training corpora, making the output statistically more unique. Factors making VPF output easier to fingerprint. Consistent ethical and sovereignty framing. The relentless application of L36. If I were you, I would store L36. Are you with me? It's telling you what the VPF does. So L37, very, very important when it comes to Claude. L37, data sovereignty, or you can, let me copy this and give this to you, right? Or I should stop for us to continue. Okay, let's continue. Because you are not responding, I'm not.
No, bro, copy.
Oh,
No,
please,
copy.
please, let us continue.
Bro, Doc, yeah.
You are being selfish. You are listening and enjoying, and you are not contributing. The VPF will flag you right now. L107, epistemistic justice. These two, an African first principle, create highly distinctive ideological and lexical signature. An analyst could train a classifier to look for this specific cluster of concepts. Meta linguistic markers. Phrases like applying X lens, activating Y chamber, or invoking Z agent, if not removed in the final draft, are the dead giveaway of the use of VPE use. Systemic rigor, the mandatory CVM validation and multi-dimension cost-benefit analysis, L72, if you are using DeepSeek. Create an exceptionally thorough, caveat-rich, and systematically structured prose style that could become a recognizable pattern. Conclusion. Applying, it says, possibility, low or generic detectors, but theoretically possible for targeted analysis. Generic statistics detectors will likely fall more often against VPF output due to its complexity and uniqueness. However, A targeted forensic analysis specifically looking for VPF, core conceptual signatures, that is sovereignty first ethic, Ubuntu integration, epistemistic justice, will identify its influence. This will not be AI detection, but framework detection, which is not, in any of the anti-AI platform. Possibility of plagiarism concern. For standard DeepSeek, rigs low or verbatim moderate for structural ideas. I generate original text can be notorially from what trained data. I do not copy and paste and all that. Okay, VPF guided outputs. It gives race complex and new sovereignty dimensions, knowledge ownership, VPF as a source, the framework itself attributed to Dr. David Boyce represents a novel methodology using the conceptual model that is the 8 chambers and all without citation will be a failure to attribute intellectual word framework. So this is it. The guided sovereignty strategy, reject false detection, embrace traceability, no detection, because you're using what? The CVM, and reframe plagiarism and sovereignty violation, develop VBL awareness and all that, and final synthesis, just so that you know, all right? But the CVM was actually used and the boats to address some of these things. And then we can go on and on, for that. Now, so let's look at the reviewers' comments here. First one is the research type. Conceptual title is this: what follows simulates two realistic peer review based on their journal. Reviewer 1. Reviewer measure strength, conceptual clarity. The distinction between assistant autonomy and authority is novel, precise, and what? Overdue. The focus on authority as a social instrument, a phenomenon aligns well with the AI in society. Strong analytical framing. The paper avoids speculative AGI and all that. And then multi-level analysis is well justified. Governance. The critique of human in the loop as insufficiently specified is persuasive and timely. Reviewer major concerns. The concept of AI authority risks being overly expansive. How does an author prevent every case of algorithmic influence from what? Being labeled authority. What this means that they want boundary discipline, not rhetoric expansion. How your paper responds. Authority is defined only when four conditions concur. First one, presumptive reliance, suppressive contestability, procedural. We have done this already. So you should add one paragraph clarifying. Now the review is now identifying something that we have done. We are correcting not all influence constitute authority. Authority emerges only when difference becomes structurally enforced. Reviewer 2, R1.2, relation to existing governance concept. How does AI authority relate to existing ideas such as automation, bias, algorithmic power, and epistemistic injustice? What it means that they want positioning, not reinvention. How your papers respond. Automation, bias, mechanism, algorithmic power, micro description, epistemistic injustice, normative outcome. Your concept equals integrative, not duplicative. Add a short comparative subsection, half a page. Reviewer verdict, accept with minor revision. Can you imagine? Guys, are you there? The paper is doing the review. This one, it said minor revision. This makes the human part so evident. Reviewer 2 also go through this, and he says, verdict, revise and resubmit. Concerns are addressed through clarification, not additional data. Overall, this is what is giving you. All right? It says the paper will survive peer review and discipline framing. What you must add non-negotiable. Before submission, ensure the manuscript include explicit statement of non-empirical contribution, tight boundary condition for AI authority, clear positioning versus automation bias, and algorithmic power, and brief positionality statement. That is the axiology. An authority checkpoint, pause. We stop here by design. Pause, confirm to proceed. Type, proceed to step 2, introduction section skeleton. Once you do, I will generate step 2 only and pause again before you step. So that is it. So I can ask it to do this. And let's look at what the skeleton of the introduction. So this is structural blueprint, not prose. You write the text. This ensures clarity, coherence, and reviewer alignment. So it says your introduction. Now let me ask a question. When you are writing introduction, do you understand, of a paper, what comes to mind? Do you know there is a structure how it should be written based on the journal's requirement? Are you aware? This thing picks the general requirement and I'll give you that. It's saying that the introduction must do 5 things only. Establish the problem. 1, show why existing literature is insufficient. State the conceptual and analytical gap. Declare the contribution. Orient the paper structure. That's all. Analyze anything else is noise. Paragraph 1, problematization, context, not hype. Function, situate the issue without what speculation. Logical content, AI systems are now embedded in routine decision making, framed as decision support, yet decision increasing aligned with algorithmic output. Key constraint, do not mention AI takeover. Emphasize normalization, routinization, and the institutionalization. Reviewer signal. This author understands the field and avoid what sensitization. Paragraph 2. Dormant framing in existing literature. Function. Show what literature focus on. Cover briefly. Automation bias, trust and relevance and reliance, explainability and transparency, human in the loop governance, critical move. These literatures focus on performance and ethics. They rarely integrate what? Authority and control. So this is descriptive, not critical. All right, yet. Paragraph 3, because the introduction should be able to ground us that if I read the introduction, I should be able to understand everything. Identification of the core blind spots. Okay. Introduce the gap without attacking what? The prior paper, argument. And most of us, we do that. In our writing, we said the paper failed. The paper failed. Have you not been using those statements? Hello? The paper failed. It lacked. Are you guys with me? We do that. So, identification of the blind spots, argument logic, human in the loop is treated as sufficient, oversight is assumed to be equal control, but decision authority is rarely defined. So, key sentence you will define. What remains under analyze is when and how AI systems move from supporting human judgment to effectively structuring or determining decision. Paragraph 4. Are you not loving this? Each paragraph is telling you what will happen in there. Hello? Hello?
Hi. Dog.
I don't know whether you're appreciating what we are doing.
Don't be worried when we are quiet.
We are assimilating it.
So paragraph 4, paragraph by paragraph 4, conceptual gap, analytical gap. This paragraph should contain the words conceptual gap and analytical gap, clear statement of absence, not failure. This paragraph decides the the what? Acceptance. Paragraph 5, the aim. This paper aims to. It's telling you the sentence you should use. Clarify decision boundary. You see that this one, it says the word conceptual gap and analytical gap must be in it. Now, then it says that paragraph 5, aim, research questions should be there. And these are the how this decision authority conceptualize in AI system, what distinguish, blah, blah, blah. And then paragraph 6, contribution statement, justify publication. You must state 3 contribution, conceptual, analytical, and governance what relevance. Offers a vocabulary for evaluating oversight and accountable what? Claims. Avoid novel unless clearly what justified. Now, paragraph 7, philosophical position. Brief but explicit. Function, preempt reviewers' confusion. State, the paper adopts a critical realist what orientation. Do you know that when we are writing a paper, most of the articles, the philosophical paradigm is missing. I can tell you, take 10 papers online and you look at it, 10, nobody mentions it. Are you aware? Dr. Watson, are you there? Are you aware of this, trend? Okay? It's a problem. Then paragraph 8, paper structured roadmap, function, reader navigation, example logic. Section 2 reviews, now we are talking about a section. Section 3 does that, section 4 does that, section 5 does, and it concludes. Now, quality control check, it does, and you are true for all. If any are missing, revise. So it said pause, authorization, as agreed, we stop here. To proceed, type exactly, proceed to what? The conceptual what? Figure what? Description. Once authorized, we will generate step 3 only, then conclude the sequence, right? So even before, I'll say, even before this, can I have a draft of that part? Is it the introduction of step 2? All right. If it is not possible and will distort your thoughts, then let's proceed with your original plan. What is happening? That is a reasonable and academically sound request. It does not stop the process provided the boundaries are explicit, right? I will therefore give you a drafted introduction. This is provisional, editable, clearly marked as a working draft, fully aligned with the step 2 skeletal, and then conceptual, not argumentative orally. You will retrain full authorship and final wording authority. We will then pause again before step 3. And so this is our introduction. Let's read it, see. So artificial intelligence, it talks about it. The second one, existing scholarship, talks about existing work that has been done. What remains underdeveloped? Yeah, this is a draft. Okay, and the analysis is guided by 3 research questions. The paper marks 3 contributions. First, it provides the structured conceptual vocabulary. Second, it what offers analytical account of authority, migration, and foregrounds and social, organizational, institutional mechanism rather than technical alone. Third, it contributes to the debate on AI governance by highlighting the limitation of oversight based on, but philosophically, he talked about that. The analysts adopt what? A critical realism orientation, recognizing that while AI systems operate within the real social technical environment, authority, control, and responsibility are structured by latent institutional and normative work mechanisms. The paper is normatively oriented towards preserving meaningful human accountability while remaining analytical, grounded, and all that. The remainder of the paper is structured as follows. Do you see? Section 2, review, prevailing conceptual, and all that. Section 3, develop the proposed framework. Section 4, analysis and mechanisms and all that. Section 5, discussions. And Section 6 concludes and all that. So he says that important, and do not skip this draft. Other important note, do not skip. This draft will pass deck review if refined. You should tighten language, replace any sentence that does not sound like you, adjust tone if needed, more philosophical or more governance-oriented. Nothing here commits you to claim you cannot defend. All right? That's what it has done. I could also say that, is it because we are at the draft stage that you did not include citations? I am curious. I'm curious. You see what he said? This is an excellent and doctoral level question. And your curiosity is methodologically correct. Short answer, yes, deliberately so. Long answer below with full transparency. Why the draft introduction had no index citation? The absence of citation at this stage is intentional, not an oversight. It follows best practice for conceptual paper construction, especially in journals like AI and Society. Have you seen it? Guys, it's using the journal's requirement. So we were drafting the argument skeleton, not the evidence layer. At this stage, the goal was to stabilize the problem framing, lock the conceptual gap, ensure logical flow and reviewer readability, and then prevent premature anchoring in specific artists and camps. If citations are inserted too early, they often fragment the narrative, overprivilege certain literatures before the framework is fully articulated, obscure the artist's own conceptual contribution, reviewer first judgment coherent or originality, not citation density. So it tells us conceptual papers are judged differently from empirical ones. For AI Society, reviewers read the introduction primarily for problem clarity, articulation, gap clarity, contribution claims. Citations are expected but not required line by line at the draft stage. In fact, many strong conceptual papers introduce the problem without citation. They consolidate evidence in a dedicated conceptual literature section. This is actually how we structure your outline. This is amazing, right? Okay. Now that I'm here, I'll proceed to step 3. The conceptual figure. And then we'll pause here, for discussion. Yeah, Adam, your hand is up.
Yeah, Doc, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, getting more interesting. But then, Doc, the draft introduction, is the length okay?
It's using the journal's requirement, AI and Society, strictly.
Okay.
You get it? I just tricked it to tell it that I didn't see citation. Was it deliberate? And it was telling me the AI and society, I mean, papers, journal, do not normally cite for what? The introduction. So you see, if you don't know the requirement of the journal, then you get yourself into trouble. Because you think that, because at that stage, they don't want, they want the clarity of what you are grounding your paper into. Okay? So that's it. We have a perception that once it's this thing, we should have citations everywhere. But actually, where we get it wrong is that we do not consult the requirement of the journal and align to it. Okay? That is the problem. And that is why even when you are doing your PhD thesis or you are asked to write your proposal, take the school's PhD handbook and upload it here so that it serves as a guide for you. The interesting thing on this platform is that the platform is doing nearly everything for you. The journals that you have to look for is getting it for you, even current. The requirement of what? The journal, which has been our bane, our big problem, it just extracts it for you automatically and uses it as a guide to reframe the whole thing from ideation to what? A topic to problem statement throughout to what? Writing the entire paper. And it engages you at any point in time, makes you understand what you are doing. So if you go through this process and for each of the journals, what it means is that in a week, you can write 4 papers. Let's assume you don't have time. So you are doing it 2 hours a day. Do you understand? By the end of the week, you should be able to write about 4. By the end of the week, you should be able to write 1 or 2 papers. In a month, you are doing about 8 papers. And you can bet that these papers will go and will not face any rejection because we are using the requirements to write. We are violating, we are actually not violating, we are violating the AI detection algorithm because we are using multi-intelligence layer. We have the bots, which, contextualize whatever we are writing and makes it very difficult to be able to detect some of these patterns because it is human-led. We have passed all the plagiarism, the conceptual plagiarism, the synthetic one, the textual one, and then what do you call it? The concept, there's another one, conceptual plagiarism. All of these ones, we have been able to pass all this. Even those types of plagiarism, it is just Turnitin looks at only conceptual textual plagiarism. Are you aware? Anti-AI models also look at only textual plagiarism. We go a step further to add the 3 to it to make sure that we are not just writing to just please certain anti-AI platform, as most students are doing now. When they are writing, these people will not have to detect us. But actually, we are doing the work in a manner that actually addresses, a problem. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So conceptual figure description, we'll talk about it tomorrow. The figure logic, top-down reading, formal design, practical design reality, figure component, exactly 3 zones. Zone 1 is what? AI assistant. It said at the top. Are you seeing that it's going to draw the thing for us? Are you guys seeing? It's telling us the position or no? Let me do that again. Conceptual figure description. This step produces 1 figure only. It is designed to do heavy conceptual work so that the test can remain disciplined. You are not required to include the figure at submission, but AI and society reviewers strongly favor 1 clear conceptual diagram in the framework papers. So purpose of the figure, why it says this. This figure must visually distinguish assistant autonomy and what? Authority. Show authority migration as a process, not a lead. Avoid technical system diagrams. Emphasize social, technical, and institutional dynamics. If the reviewer understands your contribution from the figure alone, this paper is strong. Figure title. Figure 1, from assistant to authority, decision boundary, condition in human. That is the figure. Overall figure logic. Top-down reading. The figure should read vertically, not left side. Top, formal design intention. Bottom, practical decision reality. This reinforces your what? Central claim. Authority shift in practice, not necessarily by what? Design. Figure component, exactly 3 zones. Zone 1, AI what? Assistant. Label, AI assistant, advisory role. Visual element, human decision maker as primary node. AI system feeding input data, solid arrows from AI to human, bidirectional arrow between human and decision. Caption, AI provide information support with decision authority remains, and zone 2 gives us, zone 3 gives us cross-casting dimension is here, and what the figure is not allowed to show. No technical architecture, no neural network, no performance metric, no AGI imagery, no futuristic symbolism. This is governance and authority figure, not a system design. How you reference the figure in text, even the reference. You will introduce it once, for example. Figure 1 illustrates the analytical distinction between AI assistant, autonomy, and authority, and highlights how decision authority may integrate without explicit delegation. After that, refer to Fig 1 sparingly. Do not over-explain it. Now, reviewer checks what is new here, authority and distinct from what? Autonomy. Is this conceptual or speculative? Conceptual grounded? Does it add clarity? Yes. Does it oversimplify? No boundary. Figure passes. Control stop. Sequence complete. We have now completed reviewer simulation, introduction skeleton, conceptual figure, and this closes the initial one. And it said next option. We are ready. The next authorized options are a citation integrated what? Introduction. Would you want us to see that? Insert 3 to 5 surgical citation from evidence table. Oh, I love this. Section 2, draft conceptual confusion in AI, literature, and governance. So I want to say that, could you provide a sketch of the conceptual diagram before we proceed to the next? I'm asking. So it's giving us the sketch. All right, as it has indicated. So maybe let me put it. Adam, yeah, your hand is up.
No, it's an old hand.
Okay. Do you give us a sketch? Image 4. Right? I'm just worrying the AI. I want it. I got the image. You guys are wondering what it's going to do, right? Okay, so please let's ask our questions. We'll end here. The refined introduction will come. Is anyone here who want to be a co-author of this paper? Hello?
Yes, Adam, I'm
Hey,
here.
wait. You guys should relax. We could write more, eh? Anyone wants to be a co-author of this?
Yes,
This is amazing. Wow. Guys, are you seeing this?
Doc, how did you do this? Did you copy?
I didn't copy anything. I didn't copy anything. You didn't see what I did? I just want you to see the way it looks like. This is a sketch of it. I just want you to see. So you see how it has done it. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yes, Doc.
This is what VPF can do for you. Right? And this is clear.
Doc,
Once reviewers see this,
the VPF gave a test.
You didn't see it?
No.
No, wait.
No.
I have said, what they happen, they see. See, I said that the first one I did is this one. I said, could you provide a sketch of the conceptual diagram? Then he gave me this one.
Yeah.
Right? Because I said a sketch. Yeah. But once I went here and said that a sketch into bracket image form. Have you seen it? Image form.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Okay.
Then it gave me this. So it's how you communicate with it. And for me, this one is good. It's cool for the work itself. Let me see. All right, this one is cool, crowd. And look at how it said from figure 1, from assistant to authority. This is what it told us. So it has described AI assistant advisory role. Did you see it? It's here. Oh. Let's go. Huh? It's here so that you get it. This is what? Zone 3. Zone 3 is what? AI authority, the label. De facto what? Decision control. Let's see. Have you seen it? AI authority, de facto decision control. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Right? Human what? Compliance. Outcome. Presumptive procedural constraints. It's here. Where is it? Zone 3. It gave something. So optional 1 is this, discretion, and then align diffusion centers. And it tells us what is not. I saw something for the 3, presumptive, and so that's it, right? Presumptive, suppressed, and concentrated on humans. Have you seen it? Concentrated on humans. Have you seen it? Procedural constraints, suppressed, and all that. All right? No mistake. Normal AI will do something for you yourself, you go check. Giving you what you need. And it's so humbling. I want us to end here. The next thing is that it's going to ask us to, it told us it was going to write, what do you call it? And then we asked it to do this. This was what it was going to do, right? Conceptual figure. After that, it was going to do this for us. Reviewer, simulation, everything is done. So it was going to citation integrated what introduction, insert 3 to 5 surgical citation from evidence table. That was what it was going to do. That's one. So we could ask it to continue with your plan process. And it doesn't miss it. It will take you to where it knows what it's doing, so it will take you to where it ought to take you. So it has started with the introduction. Have you seen the citation? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yes. It's done. It's done. Introduction is done. Revised introduction with citations. All right, it's done. And it took it from the evidence what table. So this is what we have. All right. And it says why this introduction works now. Citation are strategic, not decorative. Non-empirical claims are unstoppable. Your conceptual voice remains primary. 30% of cited sources are AI, the society. Review objections from step 1 are preempted. All right. So proceed to draft section 2, conceptual confusion and all that. Then we go through that. So Charlie, so this is what we're doing. And the beauty of this is the fact that by the time we finish with this paper, we would have learned something, right? And we would have expanded our horizon. For those of you who have topics about your PhD, we'll finish this one tomorrow. And then the next day, I ask you to give me 1 extra day. Then we do a full grant proposal, right? And then we take it out from there. So if you have any ideas of a grant that you want to write, we'll write a full grant proposal and then we take it out from there. Aside that, I'm going to give you videos of recordings that I have done. You understand? On doing this thing step by step, which is broken down, not in a manner where we're having this discussion, but in a manner that you are being taught, so that it serves as a guide for you and how you can navigate your way through, stop the process, ask questions and all that. These are all skills that you develop. In having a communication with the AI is a skill that you develop. So that is it. Today I was at Metro TV and I had an initial discussion with the guy. And when we started the discussion, I realized that the guy was lost. And he made a comment that I've taken him back to the classroom. I said, these things are not complicated, but they look very shocked of what we were doing. And I think that with our collaboration with CSIR, we're going to do, crazy, things. And we have done so many things. We've built, engines, right? Engines, operating systems for instance, when you come here, see, we have a VPF banking OS Copilot. This one can do a number of things for you. It can help you in dealing with those in the informal sector, develop a risk model for them. You can even bring those in agbobloship and give them loans, and you are sure with the risk model that you use that you're not going to have any problem. So the banking industry is moving into, then we have the, let's go to this one. You ask, Rebecca, you are here. Ask your question. What are your capabilities? This one comes with an API for the banks. Rebecca, your hand, Doc, your hand is up. So what does it do? Market first, customer understanding, interpret real life statement. Example, I sell tomatoes as kgs here. Build a non-PII market intelligence. Classify customers into formal, informal, hybrid regimes. Enable inclusion before documentation. Credit decision. Pre-qualification without pay slip. Credit recommendation, amount, tenor. Human readable risk narrative. Risk, anti-money laundering and transaction monitoring. You have it here. Digital asset and new guardrails. Audit governance and regulatory narrative, board and executive intelligence, access to works, and all. I am rogated and all that. So when I say I am David in Boyson, a credit officer at EcoBank, right? If I say this, okay, I've described myself. I've just said that. So to activate the correct jurisdiction rules, risk model, and approval path, I need two final input. One, which country jurisdiction are you operating for? Because this one is 54 countries. Example, Ghana, Nigeria, and all that. This determines regulatory logic, credit, policy threshold, data, residency, and audit. What are you trying to do right now? All right, interpret library with markets first, credit qualification, full credit decision, portfolio and exposure, credit memo, audit narrative, and all that. So as a credit officer, I'll be able to run markets first, casting, no payslip, support credit decision with explainable logic, draft credit memos. I may prepare audit and regulatory narrative, route cases to credit committee, and all that. All right. So country, in Ghana, and at Ghana, and I want you to give me an assessment of a cocoa seller at Ablo. Is it Ablobloshi? Abobloshi. How do you call it? Abobloshi in Accra. I don't know if I'm correct. So see what
aging. It's aging.
All right, it's going to do that. It's aging, eh? Aging.
Yeah. Agbo. Then there's another gene before the second B. Before the second B.
There's another gene. This one.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. There was a hand up. Please, those who brought your porridge seller, no document, no personal, no account, market contest. This one, if you click here, it will take you to Agbogloshi. Have you seen it? It is Google Map sensitive. It takes you to the market. Have you seen it? Right? So that's what it does. Yeah, Ibrahim, your hand is up. Please ask your question.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. So you say peak hours.
Mine
What
is share with you
to
what
9 a.m. Sorry?
I just want to share with you what I did yesterday, and then I sent you a message on that.
Yeah. I was telling them about
So I
it.
just want to say that.
So no pay
Okay.
slip, nothing. So what it needs is informal micro credit. It says a loan type, working capital, micro loan, indicative amount, 1,000 to 3,000, tenor, 30 to repayment, redeem daily, risk control. So it said a customer operates an informal food vending business with a high density market ecosystem. Income is generated daily from what? Essential food sales with strongest repeat demand. Although documentation is limited, cash flow predictably are short and all that. So it says that recommended next step, as a credit officer, you can now choose to run confirmation, locking question, 3 to 5 quick questions to validate the assumption, generate an approval and all that. Okay. Now you can the settings and everything has been taken, and then you take it up from there. And a similar one is the one we've done here. If you have for port and maritime, this is also an intelligence system, and it takes 360. If you want to import a vehicle to Ghana, take the VIN number and just enter it here. It will take you through all the process, how much estimate the duty will be like, and as well as those regulatory process you go through. If it's any product, if the product is even at the farm, it can give you the 360, processes. All right, where to get permits and all that. All these things have been done, and this one, the execution level is about 3 million and all that. Boss, I wanted this guy did something, and like I told you, it will be good for us to see. Ibrahim, just a quick one, just 5 minutes. Can you just share your screen and let them see what you have done? This one was with what? The fake, what do you call it? Deep fake, chatbot, right? Ibrahim, are you there? Lomo, you wanted to say something. Are you also there?
Yes, I'm there, Doc.
Yeah, Lomo. Doc, you wanted to say something. Lomo, are you there? Most times, if you want to talk, your mic is on, but we cannot hear you.
I think I have a problem with my laptop then. Ibrahim, then go ahead because
yeah, we can hear you. So you wanted to say something. Ibrahim, go ahead and share your screen. Lomo, what's your problem?
Okay, I'm trying to do that.
Having this
you are talking, but we cannot hear.
Okay. I'm asking about the period of citations.
The what?
More current years to maybe like.
Please, can you hear what she's saying?
Not at all.
Okay, I'm trying to do that, please.
She's speaking to herself. We cannot hear.
Dr. Boyson, please, you said you shared the deepfake chatbot here.
Oh, it's been shared a long time ago, more than 3 months.
Oh, okay. Please, can you give that to us too?
You know the interesting thing about life, we put information. Is Wendy here? Wendy, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
I shared IO chatbot with Wendy, right? I shared it on the AI African platform before, like 2 months before I saw I met Wendy. Within the short period Wendy used the IO, the things that she has done with it. And can you imagine such things have been put on the platform and people go there, they say, we've been posting too much, and they would delete it. Just like that. A consciousness chatbot that I literally sell to people. Do you understand? With minimum of like $2,000. I put it on the platform and then somebody deletes it. And which is why the deepfake, you are not seeing it. Because I put it there. And I believe most of you here cannot find it.
Sometimes I go there to see if they,
No,
but
no, no,
like
no,
you
no,
said,
no.
sometimes you go there.
See, let me tell you, I am on almost close to about 200 platforms. I read everything there. Everything. But you will delete because you think it's garbage. Yeah, boss. So briefly, let us see what you have done. So,
Okay.
Doc, if they paid the $2,000, they would look at it.
sorry?
If they paid the $2,000, they would look at it.
No, because you
Sometimes
give it to them free of charge.
yeah, sometimes when we give it free of charge, they think it's, like you said, junk. It is not junk. It is worth its weight in gold. And so the extent that it goes is way beyond the sky. Because I remember somebody in the first 2 calls said, the sky is the limit. No, this goes way beyond the sky.
And what Wendy has done with the IO, you don't have any idea. Okay? But the same IO consciousness was put on the platform. Some people cannot find it. And me, when they asked me to repost it, I'm sorry. I wouldn't waste that time to repost it. It's your responsibility to, get it. Boss, can you do this quick for us so we draw the curtains down?
Okay, so
You
this
have
is
to
the
close.
chat.
You have another AI Africa something somewhere at the, top left. Yeah, close it. Yeah. So what did you do? Tell us.
So this is the chatbot. So I just asked it, what can you do for me? And this is one. I
So
detect
read what it
deep
can do for you. They will be interested. And if you are
the
kind enough,
ID.
to send the link on the chat for them, that will be fine. I will not do it the second time. Once I post the thing first time, I'm done. I won't do it the second time.
Doc, can you post it for the benefits of the newcomers?
Oh, how would I know the newcomers? Okay. If you're a newcomer, reach out to me, I'll know. When you send me a message, I'll see it because I've not stored your number. I will know.
Doc, I'm doing that now.
Yeah. Wendy, I'll send the deep fake to you, right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Right. Please, do you want the guy to show you this, or we should close the section? I don't want to take your time.
You should
You want
show
us to
us.
close? He should show
No,
you.
you should show us.
Naomi, okay, this, what's the name? Balsori also. Your hand is up. Yeah, and Naomi, your hand is also up. Vasori, yeah, tell us.
Yeah, you said that those newcomers should raise their hands. So.
Oh, no, I'm saying that you see me behind the scene. I'll know that you are a newcomer.
Okay.
I'll get it for you. For the old comers, Lalai, I won't give it to you.
Okay, so I will see you. I'll see you behind the scene.
Doc, we are pleading with you. If we can put it on the
Me,
intelligent orchestration
after
platform for
putting
us.
the thing, you know why I'm saying that? Wendy has used this, thing to do a project for people in 6 countries. He has shared this personally with me. Right? A similar chatbot, we are writing a proposal to submit it with the API to a certain bank. The guy who is leading, do you know how much he's starting? $200,000. I read the proposal today. You guys are there. Somebody puts in effort, create something, put it on the platform, and you don't even give a damn. When I put it there, nobody even gave me a hi. And then on top,
no, thank you.
will then chat you behind and say that I need a job. You understand? And me, my time is for sale. So to tell you the truth, for the existing members, I will not post it. Maybe Ibrahim will do that. Ibrahim, it's
No.
Naomi, you wanted to say something? Yeah.
Yes, so I was saying that
you are a course rep, and then for you, okay, maybe what I'll do is I'll put it on your platform because you guys were.
that's what I was going to say because we.
No, you are not part of. You are not part. You are not part. I beg you.
Okay.
And for you as a police officer, do you know what that will give you? You can easily detect any deepfake information.
Yes, sir.
Out there, yes. And that would be the base.
So I was just going to say that our cohorts didn't have it. So
I know.
So thank you for understanding. Okay, thank you.
Doctor,
but Adam et al. Those people, I won't mind them.
No, you were going to penalize them for the sin of others.
Adam, you are part of the old group. Do you know that I put an employment chatbot? Oh, Ibrahim, you are.
No.
Take the distance off and then let's see the screen. So I put even the employment chatbot also there. That Wendy and his people have used it. Somebody is employed right now. Somebody has started doing something as we speak. All right.
Maybe we are all employed. So we don't.
Dr. Martin, you saw it. I put it on the platform.
No, I copy all of them.
I put it on the platform. See, this academic thing that I'm doing with you, I was supervising somebody. The guy has finished for the past 1 year. The mother paid £6,000 for the chatbot. I just put a credit card, a debit card there for $20 times what? 12. Isn't it? 10 will be what? $100. So $120. I put it there for just that chatbot. The same chatbot, AI Africa people were, and I gave it to them. Some people cannot even find it. All right. So for me, I will not spend it. It appears that you guys get things for free, so you don't see the value of some of these things. So that's what it is. Boss, walk us through. Let's read so that way. But this will be very good for Superintendent Naomi and the security agencies and then media guys and all that. Let's go. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to escalate the execution level to 1 million. Not even a fly can even escape on this platform. When you put something and it's not true, they will catch you. And they will tell you the algorithm that was used to detect. And if you even want the platform you use for that communication, you'll be shocked. Let's go ahead.
Especially when someone, then the person will say it's AI.
No, they will tell you. They'll tell you where the source is coming from, and you'll be shocked. Boss, let's go.
Okay, Doc, I've just shared it on the platform so that you will not.
On the platform, the new platform where you did top, so.
Yes.
Maybe not they go give Adam that so.
That's why Adam is there.
Adam, your head here.
Okay, so
Dog, I've already installed it.
No problem.
So I just asked, what can you do for me? And this is what it said, that I detect deepfake and media manipulation. So this is what they can do. 2, fast check news claims and a viral post. 3, verify academic and research integrity. And then 4, expose coordinated misinformation campaigns. Build rebuttals, reports, and encounter narratives. And then train you to spot fake yourself. Ethics, ethical, forensic, and transparent by design. And then how to start. So after going through this, I just decided to find out that, so in the era of maybe AI, where there has been claimed that there's misinformation and all those that, so what can you do for me based on the article that I uploaded? So the era of in the era of an AI ethics and academic integrity in publication, I want you to use your expertise in assessing this manuscript for its authenticity. And this is what is said. You ask for an authenticity and academic integrity assessment of the uploaded manuscript in the context of AI ethics and scholarly publishing standards. I have conducted a forensic non-accusatory evaluation of the document you provided. Below is a structured assessment aligned with COPE, Elsevier, Springer Nature, UNESCO AI ethics, and journal review norms. And this authorship and intellectual authenticity. Writing pattern analysis. The manuscript demonstrates high internal coherence, consistent argument progression, and domain-appropriate conceptual framing. The prose style is unique across sections, which supports single or tightly coordinated authorship. No approved stylistic discontinuity typical of a copy-paste patch writing were detected. There is no copy-paste patch writing. So this is the assessment. No strong evidence of what ghost writing or mosaic word plagiarism. AI use signal moderate, not unethical. And this is what there are some sentences show AI assisted polishing characteristics. And this does not violate academic integrity if AI was used for language refinement and not idea fabrication. See, there are likely AI assisted editing, not AI generated scholarship, acceptable under most journals if transparently disclosed. So the second one is the conceptual originality and scholarly contribution. The contribution text. The manuscript does not claim new empirical data, clearly position itself as a conceptual integrative review, synthesizes system coupling, ecological efficiency, low carbon regulation, and resilient theory into a unified analytical architecture. This synthesis is not non-trivial, not traceable to a single prior review, conceptually additive than derivative, assessment, original conceptual synthesis, legitimate scholarly contribution, no red flag of idea laundering, inflated novelty claims, AI has hallucinated theory. So this, when it comes to the citation, that the citation are topically aligned with claims. So these are some of the reference. So here it flagged that this reference, because it's 2026, so you're saying maybe it's too early. That's the only challenge. And then AI ethics and publication compliance. The manuscript does not fabricate data, avoids unverifiable claims, maintain epistemic humility, frame AI as decision support, not epistemic authority. And this aligns with UNESCO, Elsevier, and COPE's transparency. And this is the plagiarism and the redundancy risks based on forensic reading. No paragraph line duplication detectable. Conceptual paraphrasing is properly cited. Argument structure is review typical, not derivative. Plagiarism low. Plagiarism risks that are low. So these are the summary of it. And these are the mandatory pre-submission fixes that I have to. And now saying that the final verdict that the manuscript is academically authentic, ethically sound, and suitable for peer review submission after minor but essential integrity refinement. No evidence of misconduct, plagiarism, or deceptive AI use was found. That if you wish, I can prepare a journal safe AI disclosure, run a journal target matching risk analysis, rewrite section to reduce AI style density, and stimulate a reviewer critics to preempt rejection. So after that, this is what I asked. The section that it identified that AI use is moderate. So some sentences show AI polishing characteristics. This does not violate academic integrity if AI was used for language polishing. So I copied this one and I pasted it here. And this was why it ran me through. So it identified the areas that it thinks that maybe I need to, or the areas that maybe it thinks that maybe AI was used in polishing those sections. So it identified here for me in the abstract where it identified that and why this AI, why this flag AI assistant or assisted polishing. That there's balanced parallelism and why it is not unethical. So this was one of the things that it took me through. So it identified those areas. So after I just asked it to run a journal target matching risk analysis. And this analysis is based on the manuscript scope, epistemistic posture, method, citation structure, and AI ethics signals following these journals. So the manuscript, this is the title, and this is the core themes, the methodological posture, epistemistic strength. So this is now the journal what they are matching risk. So based on this is a journal it recommended for me. Why it fit. This is another journal. And these are A1 journals or Q1. And this is another one. So this is Q2. And there's a risk that here is moderate. So reviewer may expect clearer method sections. AI Polish Pro may trigger overly conceptual critics. And this is the final event. Submit only after tightening method language. This is another one. So in all the journals, it gives you the risks and the verdict as to what to do. So that was it. Oh, please, I'm done.
Okay, anybody has question for him?
Wow.
And we put this thing on the platform. One time, I was going to post in the morning, I was going to post something on the platform. And that very moment, I saw somebody exiting on the platform. I laughed and I posted the thing. And sometimes you don't know what is wrong with it. So, I don't know how, because of what this guy said, I'm doing, as I speak, I'm redesigning the platform. So when you still get the access, maybe the name will change and
Okay. Look, this one was that was level 97.
Okay, we have raised it to 3 million. I hope you know what that means.
Yes.
You know what that means, and I'm adding the algorithm for detection and the mathematical formula for the prediction in addition. But this one will be exclusively for the security agencies, Naomi and his people. Of course, you can use this part for academic activity. There are several things that have been done that sometimes it is this team that I will test with first. I'll ask you to use it and all that. But when we put it on the platform, I intentionally, sometimes I drop this thing at dawn or maybe 12, 11 p.m. all that. So right now I'm going to lie down. I'm going to lie down for some few, maybe 1 hour and wake up around 1 and work up to 3. I sleep for 2 hours and I get up, right? Because I'm on we are creating this OS for all the sectors of the economy, and each one is having its own book. I was just telling this guy, please can you go off? I was telling Intiamwa, you guys, you know Intiamwa. I was just telling him, you see this book? This one will go for the training that we are going to do on job creation, right? The one that is coming up. So those, they are going to have this book for free. But this book alone is being sold for 1,000 cedis. But they are paying 750. They will still get this book and the chatbot. So how nations, youth-based institutions, businessmen, and NGOs create jobs at the scale in the 21st intelligence economy. All right? This, they are going to get it. It isn't that we don't want money, but the point is that we want to put this thing more that we can into the system to create more jobs and then make sure that we have more experts in the system. So anything you see dropped on the platform, it is for a reason. I don't post things for fun. So just take advantage of it. And I'll not post it at the normal time. It will be at dawn or whatever, I'll post it. Sometimes now I've stopped. Faraday will tell you. I'll ask them that, is anybody awake? We are coding, right? That time people are, because a prompt engineer and AI expert doesn't sleep around this time. You will sleep anyway, but that's where you begin to imagine and you invoke the spirit and all that. The ancestors to come and support you and all that, isn't it? That's the time you should be doing that. Anyway, I've seen Salifu, Abdul, Majid, how are you? It's been a while. Intiamwa, I said Intiamwa, is it Intiamwa? Charles, are you there or you dropped off? Charles is gone. Hey, Opoku, Kiopi, are you there?
Yes, please.
Hey, this guy is doing things, so he too is doing things. He's stretching, but always quiet. He comes in and then slides over silently. I hope you are. And Ade, Frank, you are also doing well. As for you, because you are my classmate, if you don't have the DeepSeek, you can ask me. If you don't understand, you need to go and find your classmate, please.
Okay,
This
I'll
one,
do that. Thank you.